Hi, today I wanted to talk about Agopti and give a very broad overview of what it is and how it gives your operation value. So if you want to know about very specifics of setting up your account and that kind of thing, there's other videos for that, but what this is mainly intended to do is why is Agopti useful and what kind of value does it bring to your operation. When you log in, you can see a big overview of all the orders that you have to spray. There's a lot of tools and data at your fingertips in this one screen. When I worked for a crop dusting company in Iowa, I did dispatching full-time for about 9 planes, and my job was creating orders 16 hours a day and trying to be as efficient as possible with that. So what I brought to Agopti was as much efficiency as possible, as well as much streamlined processes as possible. Because when things are busy, you don't have time to worry about the little details, and instead I wanted to solidify a good standard practice that would be as efficient as possible. So on this screen, you can see all of the orders that you have to spray. It's color coded based on release date. So the oldest orders are going to be in red, the newest orders are going to be in green, and it gives you a really quick overview of what are the old orders, what are the new orders. You also have on the left hand side a list of each one. Clicking on it will highlight not only the pin on the right hand side, it will also give you more information on it. And if you want to look at the actual order, it gives you links to the order page itself. You can also filter this, so if you are getting overwhelmed and you've got a lot of orders to look at, you can very specifically look at certain products or release dates or a certain retailer that you want to fly for. And if I, for instance, I'll filter it by retailer, and it will only show me that retailer's orders. As well as in the column on the left, it will only show me that retailer's orders. In order to dispatch a plane, you can select whatever orders you want and select who's going to be flying it, where they're going to be flying out of, and then create the load. One of the biggest advantages of Agopti is OptiLoad. What OptiLoad does is it maximizes benefit based on having orders that are close to one another, as well as doing the oldest orders first. On it tries to, it does a cost-benefit analysis of both of those and gives the optimum result. All you have to do for OptiLoad is, first of all, filter to what orders you want to have potentially in your order. Let's say I really don't care at all. So I'm going to filter to everything, and then I will click where I'm going to be flying out of and what my maximum load in gallons is, and it will show me what it thinks is the optimum load. And you'll see that it will select some older orders and then probably cluster kind of around that order based on, and it is smart enough to know that it has to be the same tank mix and that kind of thing. Another tool at my fingertips with Agopti is it's really a good CRM tool. It's a good customer relationship management tool with regard to if you have really large producers or if you have co-ops or retailers that you're flying for. You can give anyone that you want a account that is tied to your own, and they can log in. They can see the status of any of their orders. They can track their inventory, so if they're bringing you products, they can look at how much has been applied on, how much they need to bring in order to fulfill all of their on-hold orders. And they also can see like as-applied maps. If you upload your log files, they can download the actual shapefile of what you've applied. They can get an overview of all of their orders. And it really eliminates a lot of what would otherwise be like communication over the phone or email, and it gives them all the information they need without even having to bother you. So it's a really good tool for minimizing the amount of time that you have to spend with customers, but also solidify that relationship, and they still feel connected to the process and to you. If you go to your data summary page, another one of the big things that I would have to do is, a question I would always get is, how many acres do we have left? How many acres do we have left? And this will give you a pretty big overview of how many acres were released per day, how many were sprayed per day, day end remaining, as well as a graph that is broken down by what orders came in, or how many acres came in per retailer and how many acres were sprayed per pilot. And then you get a big overview table of acres per status per retailer. So this gives you a really big overview at a glance, and within a second you can know exactly how you stand, if you're falling behind, if you're catching up, whatever you need to do. Some other really important things and value that Agopti gives is safety. So Agopti is synced with DriftWatch, which is a nationwide sensitive crop database, whether it be bees or organic or any other thing like that. It also syncs with the FAA obstacle database, and that's anything that would be like windmills or tall buildings, anything like that, elevators, anything. So what warning areas will do is, if you have an order that's within a certain radius of a warning area, and that's all customizable, you can be warned about it. So the pilot will be able to see on their map, okay, I have a warning area, I know what it is, and I know to stay away from it. Another safety feature of Agopti is having all of your orders come in through one system allows you to have standardized pilot maps, and that will reduce error on the pilot end. It will also help them having a standard format. They know exactly where to find everything that they need, and there's not going to be any questions that they don't know where to find the answer to. I can show you a pilot map. If I go to loads, I'll show what a pilot map looks like. So if I print that load, I'll get the load map, which in this case is only a single field, but if there's multiple fields, it will show everything together, as well as the individualized pilot maps. So that downloaded, so I'm going to open that up, and it will give you, for your loading guys outside, it will give you the total number of products and what quantity of each product is required for the entire load. And then in this one, there are no warning areas, but if there were, that's where it would show up, as well as the standardized pilot map, which gives coordinates to the field, gives the standardized aerial view, and then all of the required registration info and product info and as applied info. Some other useful tools are data export tool. This will give you some pre-populated reports that during the year or at the end of the year you can get a lot of useful information without having to have to do anything other than export the report. And then finally, with Agopti, you have an order archive. So year over year, you can look back, and if you wanted to look at an order that you sprayed 5 years ago, you could easily find that order and answer any questions or do anything that you needed with it. So you have data integrity year over year, as well as all the other benefits of Agopti. If you have questions specifically about certain functions or features, you can probably find a video for that, but I hope that this video has showed some of the value that Agopti can give and how it can really be useful for your operation. Thanks.